Hello, welcome to me painting and also making a video essay because that seemed fun. Today I'm going to be ranting about two different things that fall under the same kind of umbrella. The first being pervy characters themselves and their actions. The second being fan service and the way the shows sexualize their characters to the audience. I'm going to leave a content warning here since I'll be talking about sexual topics and consent in this video. So, I have a problem with pervy characters. That is to say, I have a problem with a very specific type of pervy character. I don't hate any character that's sexual in any way. You know, characters who are definitely attracted to the people around them or flirty by nature. Issues arise for me when the pervy character crosses boundaries of consent or privacy, or is dishonest in their attempts. Now, people like this exist in real life, and we shouldn't shy away from talking about it or making these types of characters just because they could potentially upset people. Obviously, warnings and content ratings are there for a certain subject matter. I take the most issue with characters who are pervy, who cross boundaries, or tread that line very carefully, and are portrayed as the main character, or someone who's generally likable. That is to say, I find no problem having a character portray a negative trait and show exploring how that type of behavior affects not only themselves but the people around them, or having the character develop and change their behavior over time. The problem is, the shows that I see doing this don't think of it as a negative trait at all. It's not something to be fixed or talked about, and it's used entirely as a way to show the characters around them as sexual to the audience. Which brings me to my next subject, fan service, which is when the show uses things intentionally like camera angle and nudity to please the audience. I'm not sure about everyone else, but I will go to great lengths to avoid being perceived as creepy by women, and being thrown into that role by media makes me super uncomfortable. But that's just me, and it all depends on the character that the show is giving us fan service of. There are mainly two things that I've noticed here. The first being that the character I'm seeing fan service of is, well, a minor. That is mostly a thing that I've noticed in the anime that I've seen over my lifetime. For example, High School of the Dead, Kill la Kill, that one show about the swimming boys. But it happens in some Western media too. For example, Riverdale has a lot of scenes sexualizing its characters to the viewer. Characters that, although not played by minors, are portraying minors. The second instance is when the character being portrayed is not into the situation. I think this is a lot bigger of a topic, and I can't believe I even have to say this, but sexual harassment is not a situation in which fan service or jokes have a place. Not only does it minimize the effect that things like this have on real people, but it makes the audience a participant in those actions. There doesn't even need to be a pervy character involved here. If, say, a gust of wind were to blow a character's skirt up and the camera showed an explicit low-angle shot of a girl who's embarrassed or uncomfortable, that makes me super fucking uncomfortable. With those two things in mind, I actually do enjoy fan service. That is, fan service of adult characters who themselves are involved in the situation. If two characters are hooking up in a consenting way, or even just being flirty and the camera sexualizes them, dude, I'm into it. But Zyler, if you don't like this type of show, don't watch it. Now we're getting into whether or not shows should get to exist just because they're bad. And I don't think canceling or censoring things is the answer in every case. There are a few shows that I genuinely enjoy, like Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, that I also think are really bad in other ways. As humans, we tend to change and grow over time, and our opinions about what's harmful change along with us. I'd personally be interested to see the effect that this type of content has on people. I've always been in the camp of video games don't cause violence when it comes to the effect media has. Obviously, people are able to separate themselves from things that they're viewing or playing, and won't start acting exactly like the main character, even if they do like these types of shows. I just wish I didn't have to question every anime I started watching. You don't even know how many shows that I've watched one episode of because I was promised cool world building and awesome magic and stuff, just to have the main character start trying to sexualize lollies or some shit. And that's all I really have to say on the topic. Feel free to leave me a comment if you have anything to add or if you disagree with something I said. I'm always interested in having a conversation and seeing things from a different perspective. Okay, bye!